But there's also an allegation, Mr. Chaudhary, on the fact that the publicity budget for the program has gone up by a factor of 5, while the actual sanitation budget of the government is lower than that of the UPA's Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan.
But question is, because we have to, once we have started this mission, then budget is required to be spread in so many sectors.
Right.
So it is not this one particular, we can't identify a particular sector, that entire budget to be. So that's why if we are proceeding for a mission, then so many different aspects is to be taken into consideration.
Okay,
and this is the region. This is the region that it is being implemented this broadly,
right,
not micro and macro level.
Right. When Prime Minister Modi announced this mission, he also talked about setting up a Swachh Bharat Kosh, which is more work like a development fund to create alternative mechanisms. So for citizens who are actually dumping garbage on streets, on beaches, on parks, will now have an alternative mechanism. But do you think this alternative mechanism or resources has been created? What has really been the success rate in last 1 year, and how citizens have been involved in this whole Swachh Bharat mission?
These type of programs can be successful only with the participation, the wholehearted participation of the people, of the common people, right, including the poor also. You see, regarding the cleanliness, our hygiene, health, etc., even during the time of Sri Narayana Guru in Kerala and Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa in Bengal also, they have propagated for hygiene, cleanliness, etc. And after Mahatma Gandhi came into the political scenario, it was a part and parcel of his political activity, right, to carry forward these ideals also. Now, as you have just now stated, I would like to add 2 points into that. One is, more and more urbanization is taking place. Right. There is the shortage of land, because the density of the population, we are feeling that the land has become, because we do not have we cannot create even a square inch of land. Right. So we have to utilize the land in the most feasible way. It should be, it's a scarce resource. I mean, the economic term is scarce resource. So when more and more urbanization happens, the people migrating from the rural areas, they are
right. So you're saying that it's important, the onus is on the government to create right sort of amenities for people who are actually migrating from rural to urban areas. Also, because even if you talk about urbanization, what we are seeing today is messy urbanism. You know, the number of slums which have actually increased in metropolitan areas.
Without any proper planning.
Without any proper planning. But Mr. Gandhi, you know, if I talk about a parliamentary committee which has recorded its concern over reduction in budgetary allocation for the Drinking Water and Sanitation Ministry, which has been entrusted with the execution of Swachh Bharat mission and providing safe drinking water in rural areas. The allocation for 2015-16 is around 5,236 crore, which is 12,100 crore less than the revised estimates of last financial year. So resource crunch is the main concern.
That's a big dichotomy, that's a big dual talk. You see, in fact, what things we are talking today should have been talked 60 years earlier. Right. Immediately after independence, the question of potable water, the question of proper sewage disposal, the question of toilets were to be addressed immediately. They are basic needs of the people. We had enough financial, I mean, material as well as human resource. You do not need a huge finance capital for this. Right. Your small steps should have been taken much longer, much earlier, as they are being talked to today. Number one. Number two, it is a question, not just a question of sloganeering. Right. You have given a new slogan, that Swachh Bharat. It is a question of people's psychology also. It's not. It should be part of our culture, the sense of belonging to the nation, right, which has gone into winds for the last 30-40 years because of the behavior of the political class.
As well as the role of the citizens also, because moral responsibility, you know, maintaining your spaces clean is much is also on the citizenry.
But that will come if there is sense of belonging to the nation.
Okay.
That is lacking today because the political class has betrayed the people of this country all along, not on this front, but on many fronts. The sense of belonging my father had, sense of belonging I had for the nation, my children don't.
Okay, Mr. Yadav, what's your take on this? The sense of belongingness has actually reduced. In fact, since November 2015, the government has also decided on paying an additional 0.5% cess to actually generate funds. So you and me have actually started paying paying higher on the air, on train tickets to create an additional revenue for the Swachh Bharat mission, which actually means 400 crore rupees more during this financial year. Is resource crunch the only problem as far as Swachh Bharat mission is concerned?
हिंदी बोल रहे हैं। सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी ने राष्ट्र के निर्माता के रूप में स्वावलंबन स्वच्छ भारत की कल्पना किए थे और हम राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी के आदर्शों को मानने वाले हैं। स्वच्छ भारत की कल्पना में ही हमारा चरित्र निर्भर करता है, हमारा चतुर्दिक विकास निर्भर करता है। अंग्रेजी में कहावत है, वेल्थ इज लॉस्ट, नथिंग इज लॉस्ट, हेल्थ इज लॉस्ट, समथिंग इज लॉस्ट, बट करेक्टर इज लॉस्ट, एवरीथिंग इज लॉस्ट। करेक्टर का मतलब है चतुर्दिक स्वच्छता, और चाहे वो हमारा पढ़ाई का हो, चाहे हमारा जो है दवाई का हो, या हमारा सफाई का हो। एक दिन की चांदनी फिर भी अंधेरी रात। एक दिन हम राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी के सपनों का संकल्प लेकर के देश के सामने जिन बातों को रखते हैं, देश उसको और गवर्नमेंट उसको रोज बरोज अपने मिशन में लाने का काम करे, वो नहीं हुआ एक दिन यहाँ। इसलिए ये दुखद है, हमने झाड़ू खरीदा लेकिन सफाई करने का काम नहीं किया,
नहीं तो आप
माहौल अवेयरनेस पैदा नहीं किया।
अच्छा, तो आप कह रहे हैं अवेयरनेस की कमी है।
बजट हमने बनाया लेकिन बजटरी प्रोविजन जो है सफाई नहीं है, स्वच्छ भारत नहीं है। हम इसको आंदोलन और मिशन मान करके न तो राष्ट्र को अपने साथ लिया, न तो इस कार्यक्रम को सरकार ने चलाया।
आप मिशन बना दिया, लेकिन एक तरह का जिस तरह की अप्रोच की आवश्यकता थी, अवेयरनेस की आवश्यकता थी, वो अवेयरनेस मिसिंग है, वो फंड एलोकेशन मिसिंग है। आपने फंड को स्लैश कर दिया जो मिनिस्ट्री के लिए बकायदा होना चाहिए। इट्स नाउ टाइम फॉर मी टू टेक अ शॉर्ट ब्रेक. नेक्स्ट व्हेन वी कम बैक ऑन द अदर साइड विल टॉक अबाउट अदर इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस लिस्टेड इन द क्वेश्चन आवर टुडे एंड आल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट लेजिस्लेटिव बिजनेस लिस्टेड. स्टे ट्यून्ड.
हम चाहते हैं उनके हाथ के हुनर का जो है फैलाव होना चाहिए.
ओके, मिस्टर चौधरी,
राज्य सरकार से राय लेनी चाहिए.
ओके, states must be involved in any such sort of scheme, and we are already seeing a model of cooperative federalism also now, and Niti Aayog in place. But Mr. Chaudhary, the country at this stage is facing a dual challenge. On one side, you have severe paucity of quality, of highly trained and quality labor. On the other side, you have challenge of employability of educated workforce. How do you really strike a balance? Because India is one country where we have less than 4% of the Indian workforce skilled in comparison to China, which has 47%. Germany has 74%, Japan has 80%, and South Korea has 96%. In our country, only 4% is skilled workforce.
First, you raised the issue about the involvement of the state,
right,
about the skill development. I would like to inform you that the Rajasthan, under the Chief Ministership of Vasundhara ji, is the first state in the country who has opened the skill development institution. That's the first institution was opened in the country, that was in Udaipur in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan is basically keeping in view the skill development schemes, is in forefront. And secondly, about this workforce in the country, you are saying that only 4% are there in the skill developed in our country.
Right.
So in other part of the world, the skill development is more. So in fact, this problem we could not address for last so many years. We can say 66 years. This is the first time under the Prime Ministership of Narendra Bhai Modi, this skill development entrepreneurship was open. And the separate ministry has been created for this purpose.
Right. In fact,
to address all these problems, now we are having 51% the non